Right, hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday night JD's League, 6 PM. So we are round 11 of the season already. Seems ridiculous to say that, but round 11 of the season. We are at Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium, driving through the Ardennes, which is pretty awesome if I must say. Let's just go to... It's a Red Bull, which it's Cam Dog, there we go. So Cam Dog out first by the looks of things. So we'll go to him, and as you can see, it's a tad wet out there. Full wet tyres on. Just double checking that, but yeah, everybody on full wets. I'll perhaps keep that up actually, the wet tyres thing, just in case they switch to inters a bit later. And I'm just going to get myself into... the stream a second so that I can get it shared in a few places, so just bear with. Right then, there we go. Cam Dog on to a lap in a way. See what he can do. It may take a bit of adjusting for all the drivers to start with to get used to these sorts of conditions around here. Last well sharing and then excellent. There we go. Excellent. Felt a bit like Mr. Burns then. Excellent. Right. So Cam Dog still on that first lap. Just comes through Pouon. Heads up to a quick right left. Which will then lead on to the double right-hander. Effectively a double right-hander really. It's close to it. The second part of this, so the second right-hander here though, you've got to be a bit careful round here this season. It's oh, and you saw the overtake, and he does have a little touch on the barrier. It's really dodgy. Honestly, I've done quite a lot of races at Spa, be it as commentator or racer, and that corner's taken a lot more than Eau Rouge's so far this season, or on this year's game. So Cam Dog heads to the line in a way. It's still a reasonable time, 202.9. He'll go faster. Everybody's going to improve as the session goes on and as they get to a bit more used to the conditions. As JD goes 2017, which is probably similar to what Cam Dog was on before he hit the before he lost control. So, a couple of Mercs on their way. So this is AJ. He heads to the line. 201.8 puts him in P2 just behind JD at the moment. And the other Merc... Oh, that's not a Merc. The other Merc's into the pits anyway, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not. It's Whoopi. Oh, he's on the outlap. Well, there you go. Alpha Tauri then, so Ben Taylor. Let's see what he can manage. Hey, Epic. Well, don't know what to say to that really, mate. You didn't do very many races, did you? So it doesn't really change, to be fair, from what I can tell. Anyway, Ben's managed a 204.7. This is Cam Dog heading back. Oh no, he's invalidated. Okay. There's a McLaren. What's that one on? That's JD Corsi, who is 5.5 temps up through sector 2. And he comes then as he kept the improvement. Yeah, it's 201.4. As I say, I'm going to keep improving. All the drivers will. Still plenty not to have actually got a time on the board yet. There's Whoopies a bit further around now. Driving well recently. Not just this league, I raced with him elsewhere and he's driving well in all his leagues at the moment. AJ's now gone fastest, 2 minutes, 0.3. That's a huge improvement on what anybody else has managed. That gives us a better idea of what times are possible. As Whoopi comes across the line 201.3 into P2, so it's Mert 1-2 as it stands. And the Alpha Tauri is Ben Taylor again. He's not improving though. Let's go down to, I think it's an Alpine, is it? SC. He joined another league, won 15 out of 22 races. Well done. That's good. Charles Kitchen heading for the line. 201.9. That's a 6.5 temp improvement for them, and up to P4. See if we've got any. These guys, Danny, out there. It's going to be a gigantic favourite to take the win today, obviously, but don't always work out like that. Obviously, always unpredictable. Drove a massively impressive race last week, and 2 minutes, 0.3 puts him P2 for the moment, but that's his first attempt, and he's only 400ths off. There, who's around here? AJ is invalidated. Oh, he's only just finished his lap. JD just started another lap. Now, they're in the garage. Then 6 temps down and invalidated in a way. Donkey Kong hasn't got a proper time on the board at the moment, so let's stay with Donkey Kong. Alright, okay, Epic. I hadn't realised that. But, I don't know. I do too many different leagues commentary-wise. I don't remember all the little bits and pieces. Oh, it looks like some intermediates coming out to play. AJ's put set on. SC Camdoggle with intermediates on. SC's come out on track now, so's Camdog. He's just come out of pits as well, so I do definitely think it's dry enough. I must admit, I think I agree with them as well. Can't really see much in the way of standing water on the track, which is sort of puddles and that, which is usually the indicator for full wets. So I think the Inters are a great shout. Even if they're not faster right this moment, they should get there before the end of the session with 7 minutes still left, so should be good. Let's read that properly 1 minute. Yeah, look at the times tumbling. Danny 158.5. Andy Gatehouse was 158.7, I think it was, but he'd invalidated it. Sorry, let's get then to SC. He is actually on an outlap at the moment. Just heading for the line, so he's going to be the first of the Inter runners to get over the line. So actually, let's go on board with SC and we'll do a Iliot lap. He comes then down to turn 1 and brake in down to first actually in these conditions. Some power on the exit. It has a little bit of oversteer on the exit, which just compromises the speed out of turn 1. It's up to Eau Rouge, plenty of backing off through Eau Rouge in these conditions. Oh, it's out of shape, but it hasn't invalidated the time. This will be our first marker as he heads up. Then to the end of the straight, 8 tenths up. His PB is a 2:02.1, which is 3.6 seconds off the current pole time. So anyway, I'm missing the track. So into the long right-hander then. Side to the inside, get on the power reasonably early, take it down to this one. Normally down to 4th or 5th, but actually going to go a bit lower then in these conditions. Up to Pouon, long sweeping left-hander. To carry the speed through somehow best you can, obviously in these conditions, but comes then to the right-left. Avoid the curves like the plague, easiest way through there, and into the 2 right-handers. Say this second of the right-handers is a really dodgy corner this season in this year's game. Say I've done a lot of commentaries around Spa now, and it's definitely taken more casualties than Eau Rouge in the ones I've done. So this what would usually be a flat-out left, but just a slight lift. Let's heading up to what used to be called the bus stop chicane. It's now just handily called the chicane. There'll always be the bus stop chicane to me. As SC heads to the line, and there's, if you needed any proof that the inters are faster, there it is, 57.2, and there was plenty of little mistakes in that lap. It means SC could have gone quicker as well. So AJ, if I ran, I think Candog was next out. And 55.8, so a big improvement there from Candog. So this could be those conditions where last man over the line is probably quite likely to take the pole position. McLaren, JD doesn't, I think that was his outlap actually. This is Ben Taylor, he's on an outlap. Charles Kitchens on an outlap. So, in the moment, it's just AJ then. Let's go to him, currently on a 2 minutes point 3. Just to confirm that all the drivers have switched to intermediates. So, only one still in the pits, and that's Whoopi. It's all the others at least on an outlap now, as AJ goes P2 on 56.7. Aston Martin, is it? I think. Yeah, there we go. So Zero Scott, oh, he's on an outlap, okay. Ferraris are both on outlaps. Red Bulls. And he's on an outlap. Cam might be having another go. Red Bull. Slight incident by the looks of it. It's who won from one of the Mercedes drivers. I would assume that's AJ, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to bother switching. Let's just stick with the driver on the lap. He's kept going in a way, that driver, so whatever's happened to him, he's still going. Candog across the line, doesn't improve on that one. McLaren of JD. 3.5 seconds up. Should put him into the 57s, but I'm sure he would have found plenty more time in the set to 3 as well. So he comes 156.5, puts in P2. Very nicely done. Alfa Romeo, this is Danny on an outlap. Actually, the Ferraris are on... No, they're still on their outlaps. Sorry, these conditions are such a long lap. Kind of expect people to be on their hot laps by now, but they're not. Still going round. Andy. Where's Zero then, actually? Zero. Have a good race last week. Performing really well recently. Fallen Pikachu. Hello. When you just finished work? Hey? Zero then, actually. Zero. Here's Zero Scott then. Across the line, 157.4. That manages P5. But he's got enough energy to go again. About the Ferrari. Oh, Verstappen's invalidated, so he's going to have to... He's only going to get one more stab at it. So, in fact, he just got over the line, so he's got one more go. So this is everybody's final laps now as CamDog goes fastest, 55.6. De Courcy has unfortunately invalidated, was improving, but is heading into the pits there. Not going to let us see how quick he was going. Danny into the bus stop. Comes out the final corner. Is it going to be pole position this week? It is indeed 54.6 unless anybody else improves. Say the track's improving all the time, so pole position could be yet to come yet. Chel's Kitchen on an improvement as well. How far? 5.5 attempts improvement. Puts him up to P5. This is DK, who moves into P8 on a 57.3. I didn't quite get to the next car, which was AJ. Did improve P3. And SC has invalidated. Zero Scott is improving. 7 temps up at the moment. And that is SC actually. He's off track. Does rejoin, but stays well out of the way of the Aston on their way through. Zero Scott then. So 7 temps up through sector 2. Actually, he's probably gained a bit more. A lot more. 55.7 puts him into P3. And Verstappen, we saw invalidate his last attempt, but improving big time here. 55.4 puts him into P2. So that is the end of qualifying. SC's just been pushed into the pit lane, but that's all we're waiting for. But that is confirmation, and Danny does take pole position at Spa. Well done, my man. Verstappen over the line, right at the death to take P2. Got it right when it mattered. CamDog P3, Zero Scott P4, AJ in 5, teammate Whoopi in P6, Jay De Courcy P7, Chel's Kitchen in 8, SC in 9. I think it was Donkey Kong in 10. I'll confirm that in just a moment. Sorry, Ben Taylor in 10, Donkey Kong in P11, Andy Gatehouse not getting a valid lap time on the board. So that is our qualifying, and then we actually head into the race. Just go to incidents. That is all of them just there. There's none further down, just in case they are needed. But we will head into the racing, guys. Is there any shock that Danny got pole? Not a massive one. Ben, no. Oh, I see. If you, that's a shame, Pikachu. No. Be too late to get in now, unfortunately. Right, guys, I'm just going to grab myself a quick coffee because I didn't manage to get it before we started, so I'm just going to grab one now before they get going. Just bear with me. Right then, guys, I got my coffee. Go then. So formation lap first. Looks dry. So let's get the details up. And tires, yeah, it's dry. So the top 5 starting on mediums. De Courcy also on mediums, and then the bottom 3 also Ben Taylor, Donkey Kong, Gatehouse all on mediums. Whoopi, Chell's Kitchen and SC have decided to go with the hard tyres first. Makes complete sense. 12 drivers on track tonight, some safety car not as likely as when it's a full grid, but it's still Spa and it's still got a Rouge and it's still got that double right-hander, so excuse me. So yeah, certainly still very much a chance of safety car. Oh, it's... Well, Zero, do you know... sorry, not Zero. Sorry, Epic, do you know... I agree. But I need the coffee to keep me awake, mate. So, but yeah, no, I do actually prefer tea to coffee, but I do drink a lot more coffee. It also helps in a race because I can make a whole pot full of coffee. See, so I just, when I want one, I can just nip over to the coffee and grab one straight away over to the machine. So standard sort of strategy here would be 10 on the mediums, 12 on the hards. Quite honestly, you could do it the other way around. You could do 12 on the mediums, 10 on the hards. It doesn't really matter, if I'm honest. Final Rush is joining, I have no idea who that is. But they're too late in a way, so it doesn't matter. Danny stops perfectly in his grid slot. I never thought of doing this, going through and watching them into their grid slots before. Yeah, it was good. Verstappen, Camdog spun or something at some point and dropped down. Drive through everyone. I see him not rushing back to the front later in the lap. That's not fair if you start driving a bit quicker, get a heating temperature, tyres, but doesn't matter anyway. Here we go. So 3, 4, 5 lights are on. Got a long pause and they are out. And Camdog got a great start. And he's going to the inside of Danny. And a look into turn 1, makes the corners the tiniest of contacts, but nothing serious. A few people on the escape road, and it looks like Whoopi's round. So Whoopi round in turn 1. Oh, he was taking such a wide circle round. It looks like Camdog's round. I assume that's in Eau Rouge. You'd almost be willing to put your ice on somebody spinning in Eau Rouge lap 1, whether it's through contacts or not. And Alpine there. It's SC getting ahead of Zero Scott. He launched that one up. It's paid off. So Rover's dropping down. We do have a yellow flag again. And I think that is Ben Taylor. He is going. He has dropped down to P11, so I think it was him. Anyway, let's get back up to the top 3. So Verstappen leads. So I didn't see him take the lead actually, but that must have been through with the stuff through a Rouge. De Courcy picks up 3 seconds. That's very early on. So I have multiple warnings. Lots of changes going on further down the field, but say we are with the top 3 at the moment. So Verstappen off to a great start. Danny following in P2, AJ's in P3, sticking very close to Danny at the moment. And that is Camdog round. That's on the corners just after Pouant. So, just go to Ben. So This is Ben Taylor and Whoopi. Oh, Cam Dog's out. He's crashed again, coming out of the second of the right-handers. The one that I said seems to be taking more casualties than Eau Rouge this season. And that is well, SC's in. Something's happened to SC as well for him to drop down and lead to pit. Ben Taylor's in. I thought Whoopi might be in, but maybe he didn't pick up any damage from that. Oh yeah, he's lost his right end plate, hasn't he? Well, perhaps actually, because he knew that we wouldn't be picking up the safety car this lap because it wouldn't be able to get out the pits in time. So perhaps opts in just to carry on for another lap before changing the tyres. SC for some reason has switched to intermediates. Is it raining? I can't see any rain. It does look pretty dark and dingy, so it might be. But he might be expecting it. Or he's just made a huge mistake and gone on the wrong tyres. But yeah, it's a stop still showing slicks. But I'm honestly not sure. Oh, it's not a full safety car. Shit, I could have sworn it was going to say safety car, but it's a virtual safety car, so that's why Whoopi didn't pit. So away we go again. So really, I'm not sure. Let's see. Ben clearly catching up. As I say, either DRS is enabled as the front runners cross the line on that free. Well, so inside then goes Ben. I'm glad to see SC didn't really defend that. Not much point if you're on the wrong tyre, is there? So I do get with this game that sometimes it does start to rain and you can't really see it on the screen. And the fact that he's managed to get through Eau Rouge with that sort of pace on intermediates, surely there must be rain out there, even though I can't see it. Well, I don't know. Let's go further up then to Zero Scott. Currently in P4, looking to chase down AJ. So, let's see Ben Taylor swapping places again. Got a sector 3 yellow flag. Well, it's already disappeared. I'm not sure. AJ ran very wide there. It's turn 1 and Zero Scott's nipped through. So thank you very much. So AJ, of course, will get the DRS. Imagine he's going to nip back past. And indeed he does. I don't know, what should I call that? Turn 4, turn 3, turn 5, turn 6, I don't know. Whatever number that one is. So many little kinks on the road, I'm not exactly sure. So it's at least turn 4, it's probably turn 5 actually. So, AJ back ahead of Zero Scott, but I kind of feel like it might just all happen again this next lap as well. SC getting back past Ben again. below obviously would be the time difference between SC and the cars ahead. So Whoopi is on hard tyres, but as I say, I think I'm pretty sure when we looked at him, he had his end plate missing. So coming away. Proper little battle, these two. This time, Sirius Scott not even contemplating a move into turn 1 this time. He's going to wait and see if he can have the DRS instead, which he will. Let's go on board with him, see if he can close the gap the way AJ did. A lot closer by the turn in though, aren't they? Been any contact there. It does look like that spun AJ round. I didn't get a best view of that, whether AJ or Philly was turned in on or not, I don't know. But, oh! And we go again. Make their way through. So, this say, I didn't get the best angle on that, so I'm not going to make any comments. It'll have to be something that, if they feel there was anything wrong on that one, they'll have to submit it. So let's go to Danny, who then has called up to the back of Verstappen. Raf driving well. He's been driving well in recent weeks, to be fair. Just, I'm going to touch wood when I say this, but the luck just hasn't come his way, to be honest, Raf. But he has been driving very well. Hopefully tonight's the night where it will. And into the pits. Nah, that's good. Ah, now I can see the rain. I can see it now. Finally. So this switch to intermediates, it must be. Well, is he doing it at the right time? We will find out. When Daddy pits, I guess. Since we last looked at them, Ben and SC, they have spaced out a little bit now, a couple of seconds between them, which would suggest that we're still on slick tyre weather, but there is quite a few making a decision now, so Ralph's not the only one, as Andy gets past Zero Scott up the main straight. So Andy didn't get a lap on the board in qualifying, did he? So I'll just double check, but I think he's up from the back, up 10 places. Indeed he is. Superb race so far from Andy Gatehouse. So Ben's into the pits as well then, so despite the fact that he'd actually managed to create a bit of a lead, he's well, in fact, he's actually pitted to wets, to full wets rather than intermediates. Yeah, whether that was deliberate or whether that's accidental, perhaps we are going that way. DRS is disabled, so that's usually a pretty solid sign, really. It's we are at the crossover, definitely, and looking actually at how quick Verstappen is now catching Charles Kitchen ahead of him when they go through corners. I think this is the perfect lap, in my opinion. You'll see when Verstappen goes through. You would expect him, if it's exactly the same, then he should come out just behind Danny. But if Danny's in front, that means he may time up. Verstappen's just coming through turn 1. Danny's coming out the pits, so Danny has got the overcut. Danny's timed it to perfection, as of all the others that have pitted this lap. Andy Gatehouse genuinely up into P3 now. That's a genuine position change. AJ has decided to continue on with the medium tyres. See if that's wise. I do think, and as I say, once that DRS disabled thing comes up, you're on the wrong tyre if you're on slicks effectively. It very occasionally you might be able to do another lap before it goes fully out the window, but it doesn't usually take too long, does it? So, Danny, 1.5 second advantage to Raf. Just, you know, I don't know how good a driver Danny is. He's not blowing smoke out there, but it's just true. Got to give people credit where it's due, and you know how good a driver he is, and I think that's seen by the fact that he's made that call absolutely spot on. It's, best drivers do tend to be able to do that. He's shown a serious pace advantage at them already over Verstappen, to be fair. Since the change in conditions. 0 really on the back of Andy Gatehouse as well. So AJ is into the pits this lap. I think he's going to drop down at least to P9. And I think that will be it. I don't think he'll drop below SC. Oh, very close. Royal Rouge. And these two. Could be a bit of a shame, actually, the weather change here, because well, it's just, I think Ben's gonna have to decide that this ain't working. He's I see what he's done. If they are expecting to go full wets, and he's hoped to stop to the wet straight away to make up some time via not having Snoop do another pit stop. I get what he's done, but he's now 30 seconds behind anyone, and that's way longer than a pit stop around Spa. So yeah, he is into the pits. So 0 past Andy then. So Andy not going anywhere. He's staying with him, and this could be a battle for the whole race. I'm just going to nip down to Whoopi, who's very much on the back of Donkey Kong. Here he goes on the outside, and he's done it. SC picks up a penalty. So that's Whoopi up into P7. Nice move around the outside of Donkey Kong. And his next target will be Charles Kitchen, who's good 4.5 seconds up the road. So he's got a bit to do. That is him there. Believe it or not, that's 4.5 seconds. It doesn't look like it, does it? But that's what it is. Whoopi pulling away from DK already, and he's got some good pace, isn't he? SC into the pits. So AJ picks up a penalty. And they look green to me, so yeah, it's intermediates again. Wing change, was it? So there we have it in a way. Let's move on. The Gatehouse still staying with 0. So these conditions can actually nullify races a little bit, and it'd be a shame if it does it to this one. Spa is a track, unfortunately, does rely on it's too tight really through sector 2 for overtakes, so does rely on its long straights with DRS for overtakes, really. Obviously, the straight after Eau Rouge is the main one. So, Zero is just edging away from Andy now. He's done well, but Zero driving well. I'll keep an eye on the gap to Raf. I don't know if he's catching Verstappen or not, but 3.8 at the moment, so just keep that in mind. Take a look at that in a second. But ultimately, right now, we are battleless as it stands right now. So AJ, we'll have a quick look at some different drivers maybe. Oh, we've got a set of free yellow. That's his SC. In a moment. Caused himself any damage, has he? No, he hasn't. So we can continue on. I would actually think that the likelihood of a safety car around here in the wet is probably lower than it is in dry. People are naturally a bit more cautious, so I would think that's probably right. I don't know, it's just a bit of a guesswork, but that would be my suspicion, definitely. Danny's gears. Notice he took turn 1 in 4th gear. Should have been a warning, that one. Might have got away with it. He did ease off, so he might have gotten away with it. Here he goes again. 5th around here. Whole section in 5th. And the 4th. It seems to say once in the Discord that he doesn't drop below 4th gear. I did catch him doing it once. But on the whole, it's actually right. He doesn't seem to do it, but I have to admit I've tried it myself and I can't. Well, it's too much of a habit dropping below. So I find it very difficult to do. At least intermediates do look like they're struggling a little bit, you know. I do wonder if we're going to go to full wets. Because, who's going to want to act first on that one? Difficult. Just go to Chel's Kitchen. Well, my apologies, actually. I think I missed an overtake there at some point. I think Whoopi's gotten past Chel's Kitchen. And he's up into P6. So, wasn't expecting that quick, because he did have 4.5 seconds to make up, didn't he? But he's now after JD then. So 5.5 seconds this time to McLaren. So we went to intermediates quite early, didn't we? It was trying to think, it was, we're going by the laps they've done, it was around about lap 6-ish. So they're around to 16, 17 laps on the interiors. I think they should be able to push them out. Generally, unlike last year's game, you could do a whole race on one set on a lot of the track, or most of the tracks. It's generally not the case this year. Generally have to make one stop. But I think the races wouldn't have to be much shorter for you to do it in one, so I think the fact that they pitted on about 6 to 7 seconds should be fine. Seven seconds. Are we talking about the lead? Yeah. Just gradually pushing it out, and he's not pushing hard either. We rode on board with him for a little bit there, Epic, and he's just driving pretty casually, to be honest. It's a DK then, who's caught the back of Chel's Kitchen. We might have a little battle going on. Oh, you control the batteries alone, that's good, isn't it? Just as we're about starting to get a battle. Sorry about that, guys. We haven't missed an overtaking away. Oh, Christ. Well, Danny's awesome. Epic. So, yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. Danny is a superb driver. Yeah. Should be better matched in the race they've got coming up at 8 o'clock in WAOF1. But, yeah, Ben said he's fallen asleep. He's going to have to give up, or he's going to bin it into a wall and affect other people's races. So, fair play, Ben, if you're not feeling great, feeling tired. I know, I'm sure you did put something in the Discord, didn't you, before the race, so fair enough. If you can give us any insight, Ben, into the weather, is it actually getting worse? Been away since 2:30, yeah, I thought you should have said that, yeah. Yeah, is the weather actually getting worse? Do you think they're going to full wets at some point, Ben, or do you think this will stick to intermediates till the end? There's 8 laps left now as they cross the line. 9 laps, in fact. Expect some mechanic to go to 15 then. Well, fortunately, DK's caught the back of Chel's Kitchen, but he just can't seem to get any closer, can he? He's just sort of seems to be stuck around the 1 second, which can happen. It's difficult following a car in all conditions, let alone these. And that's the case, as Danny's improved that lead up to 10.6 now. But to be fair, it does seem that Raf doesn't have as good a pace in the wet as he does in the dry. He's been caught by Zero Scott now, so I think we're gonna have to move to that one. The fact that Zero Scott seems to be getting closer to Raf as well than DK can to Chels, so yeah, it does seem like Raf had a better overall pace than dry, didn't it? Okay, so Interstrast says it's lightning. Oh, lightning up, as in the rain's lightening up in 10 minutes, okay. Yeah, I think there's a certain part of the race, point in the race, isn't there? I think where even if it does go to full wet conditions, there's not much point in changing. Zero. You can see, can't you, what these conditions do? It's just completely nullifying the I mean, that should have been a huge opportunity for Zero Scott down into turn 5 or whatever. No DRS. It's no different. It's Pouhon once again. Just watching, keeping an eye further down as well, and the gap between Chels and DK seems to be remaining still about the same. Just stuck just inside the 1 second. DK's stuck. Whereas Zero's managed to get a lot closer to Verstappen, but he's not able to really put him under any sort of real pressure on an overtake opportunity yet. Good chicane there, Zero. Got himself a bit closer again. He's edging closer. Oh, this is a lunge. Raf was aware of it though, and is sort of done a cutback. And I think he's gonna, yeah, he retakes P2. It's good awareness that from Raf. He sort of became aware that I think. Yeah, sort of become aware that he thought Zero was going to send it, and he did. It's like Raf was completely aware that that was going to happen. So, these two, it's a little bit of a battle. Well, to be fair, Chels and DK would be as well, but this is good racing. Once again into Pouhon. Well, about another 5 seconds-ish, and Danny would have another pit stop available to him if he wanted it. I doubt he will. It's looks like he's going to pull that sort of gap, especially with these two fighting each other. This gap's just going to grow, of course. It's, these conditions, no harm in having a nice big gap, just in case you make a little mistake. It's, to be fair, Danny would be the coolest man on the track at the moment, I'd imagine. We do have another battle developing, by the way. Whoopi, on his charge back up through the field after that first corner spin, is just outside the 1 second to JD. But that was, if you remember, it was 5.5 seconds he had to catch up to be on the back of him. So he's pulled up, and he's got, what, 5.5 laps-ish, roughly. Well, in fact, a bit more than that, 5 3/4 laps to actually get past. As there's a move, and there's been a contact, and Verstappen has ended up off the track. Yes. It's always difficult in these conditions. To be honest, yeah, I'm not going to make any comments on it. It's always difficult in these conditions. So, if Raf feels that he was hard done by there, then obviously stick it into the stewards and let them deal with it. So, there you have it. Unfortunately, going off track has allowed Andy Gatehouse through as well, but Andy's just picked up another penalty. I'm sure he's got quite a few now, so we'll check the penalties as we get a bit closer to the end, probably about lap 20. But, right now, let's just go back down to this battle, which is still going on. So, out of the chicane once more. And see what I mean by it? Said it was lightening up. Ben, it's definitely lightening up. In fact, it looks to me like the rain stopped. Now, well, you will get drips like that for quite a long time because you still get spray off the car in front, which DK is very close. So, right, AJ's in. AJ's already moved. He's gone to softs. Now, the track looks like it's drying, so I think he's right that it's going to get there, but I don't know if it's there yet. He's, Raf picks up a penalty. Might hurt. Winter still seem to be working reasonably well. I mean, Danny's got that. It's a nice thing when you've got a gap like this. You can quite literally just stay on the tyres that you're on and wait for the other drivers to make a move. When you've got a gap like that, you're not going to lose 16 seconds in a single lap. So you can literally just hold off and wait for Zero. Zero pits, then he can pit. We need it to be Zero and Andy, I suppose. Just keep an eye. AJ's obviously out the pits. He's coming into sector 2, I believe. So just keep an eye on that gap between him and DK as Verstappen is in. Nerd. At the moment, AJ is absolutely hemorrhaging time, so I think he's acted too early, and in turn, I think Verstappen's acted too early as well. He's going to exit the pits on softs as well. But, look at the gap to AJ. It's not ready, is it? It's really not ready. Any damage on that car or anything. Look at the spray come off the car as he's driving. It's I reckon it's about 2 laps away yet, to be quite honest. So I don't think this is really going to turn into a dry race. As that is one of the Ferraris, and it's DK. And was on the back of Charles Kitchen then. Just looking, yeah. Even now, DK's up and running again. He's already starting to increase the gap to Raf. So I think Raf ultimately may be regretting this pit stop. Look how much, look how quick it is as well. 9 seconds. It's absolutely flying up. Absolutely flying up. Yeah, that's a yellow flag, and I think it was SC. Or AJ, actually. Yeah, AJ, sorry, SC. Wasn't SC at all, it was AJ. So, the other soft tyre driver having a difficult time. And I think in the background, you can just about see the car of SC. You probably thought you weren't going to see another car for the whole of the race. He's actually finding himself closing right up on another car now as DK comes in. I mean, I'm absolutely amazed by that, because he could literally see the gap to Verstappen and how quickly it was increasing. So I suppose you could say it's a roll of the dice. You know, if it's this lap that it dries up at some point, you know what Spa's like. Be completely wet on one side of the track and completely dry on the other. It's obviously that's in real life. I don't think they've put that into the game. I wish they would. That would be pretty awesome. But it's the nature of the Ardennes forest, isn't it, that causes that? And it's so Andy Gatehouse. Zero Scott lost him some time ago, but he's caught back up again. So, oh, Zero's in. Okay, Zero's pitting. Andy's going to say, well, in that case, I'm definitely staying out. And he's going to take the risk to the end. Zero in, JD's in. Whoopi's carrying on. Let's see what Charles does. He's in a slightly different stitch. He's got the, I think, the gap to pit if he wants. He's not going to. And he might nip ahead of JD here, but I would suggest probably not for very long. This track actually looks dry now. Well, Zero Scott, if you just made an absolute genius move, or have you thrown away P2? We do not know. It's going to be fun to watch, see which it is. Just starting to gradually catch Whoopi now. DRS is once again enabled. Nobody within that sort of range of the car ahead yet. My guess here is that Zero may well be able to catch on to the back of Whoopi, but I don't think he's going to get anywhere near Andy Gatehouse, would be my prediction. We'll see. We need the track to go absolutely, completely bone dry, wouldn't it, for him to suddenly start catching that sort of time. As you can see, the gap really is closing now. But, Danny, absolutely no need to make a change whatsoever. It's got gaps, so it just doesn't matter. And oh, Whoopi's in. Shot by that. Yes, he's without doubt he's going on to the right tyre. I mean, yes, the softs are clearly the faster tyre now, but are they sort of 18 to 20 seconds a lap faster? That's the question. As JD then makes his way past Charles Kitchen, you would think that would be as much as JD can manage right now. Charles is going to get DRS with intermediates on. Oh my word, oh, he eases off, he eases off. Fair enough, that's sportsmanlike driving from Charles Kitchen. You clearly see the overspeed that he could have taken down and had a go, but he understands fully that that's not that just wouldn't be cricket. I think a couple of mistakes on pit stops here. It's like, to me, like, well, yeah, I mean, it looks like Zero Scott's thrown away P2. He's still going to take P3. It's not like it's not the end of the world or anything, but let's go to the leaders. Danny is out of the final corner. Not quite sure what that's about, but Sandy across the line and then takes the win back off him on penalties. Don't know why he's done that, but there we go. Zero heads to the line. On penalties, in fact, he doesn't get P2 back. He misses out by 1.25 seconds. JD crosses in P4. Sorry, I didn't bring the penalties up, did I? So we're getting a little bit of a guessing game here. Shell's Kitchen P5. Whoopi could not catch him. Raf P7. Definitely lost out due to the tyre change. As the Donkey Kong P8 and SC number 9 through Puon now. Will be the last across the line in P9. But, well, oh Whoopi, oh that's why you pitted, Whoopi. You had a puncture on a second. Okay, sorry, I didn't see a puncture. That's fair enough. Yeah, I say about the race really. I mean, it was it all just kind of spaced out, unfortunately. But the races, the actual racing was fine. I don't actually know what happened to Cam Dog. I think he lost out at the second right-hander. Ben Saylor decided to retire because he felt he was going to cause a safety car if he stayed out. AJ, actually, I haven't got a clue what's happened to him. I've only just noticed he's retired, so unfortunately I don't know what's happened to him. Game Awards Driver of the Day to Andy Gatehouse. I don't think I can really argue with that. He's come from the back of the grid. Failed to get a clear time in qualifying. Had to start from the back, so you know, I mean, yes, I could obviously give it to Danny. I don't know what games he was playing at the end by slowing down, but before crossing the line, but he did still take the win. I think the two contenders really are Danny and Andy. Zero would be, but he's made a bad strategy call towards the end. But yeah, you're right. Unless that's why Zero did as well. Maybe that's why he pitted as well. But I don't know. Not any obvious signs. Okay. Anyway, let's just confirm then. Danny wins from Andy. He takes P2. And my driver of the day as well. Very unusual that I give it to somebody who's picked up penalties, let alone 9 seconds of penalties, but I'm going to give it to Andy today, so well done, Andy. Zero Scott P3, JD P4, Shell's Kitchen in 5, Whoopi 6, Rastaffen 7, DK in 8, SC 9, and we lost, unfortunately, AJ, Ben Taylor, and Cam Dog. Race director, if I can get in there quick. No, I'm not going to, am I? It took too long, chatting too much. There we go. But yeah, all in all, there was some fun racing early doors, particularly. Then we did have some decent battles going on during the wet conditions, but they just kind of got nullified a little bit because there was no DRS, which was a bit of a shame for us, really. But yeah, obviously, any drivers listening, if you were involved in any incidents or anything like that, please submit an incident report to JD or to the stewards or whatever. That'll be that. We'll be back next week, 6 p.m. Where just bear with me. I'm just going on to the Discord. I'm just going to check the track. So, calendar after Spa, it is Japan. So we go to Suzuka next week, which is actually, as far as viewing a race goes, Suzuka tends to be one of the best races of the season to watch. So I know it's not one of the most preferred races of the season from the driver's point of view, but for us to watch, it's usually one of the best ones. So I look forward to that one. That'll be, as I say, 6 p.m. next week, guys, next Tuesday. I'm back on again at 8 p.m. for WAOF1, so please come and join me for that. We're at Miami. Always a great race in WAOF1, so please, if you fancy coming and having a look with me, come and see that. So that'll be from 8 p.m. Other than that, guys, as always, thank you to everybody that's watched along with me. I appreciate your company. Thanks to everybody that watches back at a later point. It's all really appreciated by both myself and JD as well. So thank you very much, guys. Good night. Hopefully see you at 8 o'clock, but if not, I'll see you next week.